Hello and welcome to episode 59 of our Timberborn Update 6 Waterbeavers playthrough, cycle 68, day 3. We have a lot of stuff we can be pretty proud of that we've done in the last couple of episodes, but of course there's always more. Like waiting for this to evaporate so we can run not one, but 2 additional nuclear reactors. And waiting for this to get finished so we can have not 1, but 2 high-temperature foundries, and all sorts of other fun stuff. But there is also still plenty left to do, and we're going to let them get right into that in this episode right after we have our little overnight here. So, got a nice comment from the mod creator that said we're almost done, essentially. If you don't count building the Abyssal Nuclear Reactor, the second ENS, streamlining industry and pathing and everything, putting in more mechanical drills and all the other fun stuff. But we haven't really got that much technology-wise left to unlock. So the Abyssal Nuclear Reactor, if you're not familiar, is, well, something that goes on top of the abyss and generates nuclear power. But it uses nuclear fuel. And it costs 35,000 science, which we do not have. But everything else that we've got here, with the exception of the 5 gold bars and, you know, the 2 nuclear degrees, we already have, or could make reasonably without waiting 10,000 years. So this is something that we will build eventually. But what I do know about this is it has a discharge of, I think, bad water that comes out somewhere. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more thinking about where that's going to come out and what to do about it. And that will, of course, take time. But don't worry, because it's going to be a very long time before we get 35,000 science anyway. Oh, nuclear outflow. Okay, well, that explains that. And there's also all these monuments. We have the Farmer Statue, Lumberjack, Metalworker, Project Triumph, which is, I believe, the in-game wonder. 50,000 science for that one. Then the Statue of Dunking. So, clearly there's a need for a prodigious quantity of science, which the ENS can make, and the library can make, but we need the ENS to be making all of these different degrees. So we've discussed building a second ENS, and we are in the process of creating library books for the purpose of making that second ENS. We have just under half the ones required to make the incredibly compact library set, so that, of course, is going to be an ongoing process. But what's really cool is that since this is no longer going to have any more bad water coming out, we can slowly start reclaiming land here. And then this area over here, which I discussed a little bit last time, can kind of be completely redone. So we'll see what happens. Got lots to work on. We also, last episode, completely got rid of the second district. It's just merged into the main one. And we have this, selfishly, kind of ingenious solution for getting bad water. I've got the bad water pump up on top of some giant log bridges with a bypass so the bad water can come over the top, and then it just goes out the side, which allows us to get the bad water that we need to do everything else. So, what else needs to get done today? Well, a lot of things, but I think what's going to be most easily achievable is making improvements to well-being and efficiency while also waiting for some of this stuff to get taken care of. You guys have been saying forever and ever and ever and ever and ever that we need to build more assembly lines, and I keep saying there's nowhere to put them. But the suggestion was made that we could put them on top of the high-temperature foundry. So I would like to see if I can get this to fit nicely. Okay, well, that was kind of anticlimactic, but it would fit right here. Right on the very top of this thing. The conveyor belt thing does not have to be supported, as was indicated to me. Just have to be able to get into the doorway, which is right up there, and we have to have power come in the back. So, I don't think that's a bad idea. Just have to get power in, which currently just comes in right there. So, what may end up happening is we may end up putting it on top of these, what do you call them instead? Because this would be a lot easier. A lot easier to get up here. I can't flip these. I'm spamming F. They do not flip, so If I want them to be lined up with everything, I could just shift this over 1 and then have this be a vertical as well, but I don't know that I actually have that piece with the power shafts in this mod. So it may be easiest just to do this. And I think I've access to the top here. If not, then I can definitely make that happen. Yeah, I'll give them a staircase, just real simple. If I can get that to play nice there. Let's just nope. Let's move that back 1 more tile. By 1 more, I mean 2 more. That lines up right there. Can I squeeze 1? Okay, yeah. Let's move it a 3rd time. 3rd time's a charm. So that can go there. Just get rid of that extra piece. And then I will place this here. And then instead of having this built immediately, what I can do, since this isn't really, well, if I unplug this, then I don't have any of that. Anyway, it's going to be a thing. It's going to be a process. So we'll get this through the end of the night here, and then I'm going to have to come in and take these apart. Because there's no universal power shafts. Not in this version of the mod, at least. I'm going to need to put one of these in here, and then hope that nothing else goes horribly wrong. As it has happened so many times in this playthrough. But yeah, putting in additional assembly lines is just going to be smart. It's going to be good business. So why don't we just bite the bullet, so to speak. Stick this in. Of course that would go right there. What a convenient place for that to go. And maybe I'm tempting fate here, but I wonder how easy it would be to get over on top of this. I want to check and make sure this is possible before I really... Seriously? Ah, see, that wasn't going to work, but that was. If I move this back 1 more, and then of course you already know what I can do is I can just, you know, pop that thing in there. Then I can do that. Stack them and crack them. There you go. I don't even know what that means. It's probably something bad. But if I put that on that side, and then put that on that side, then put that on that side, then look at that. I got 2 of them stacked on top of each other. So that's exciting. I didn't need to pause the game. I don't know why I did, but that's the way it goes. So that just has to connect there. Well, that'll give them something fun to munch on for the foreseeable future. To make all this stuff, pretty sure components-wise, we should be in okay shape except for the fasteners. Those always take kind of a long time. But if I have 2 of these right here, what is going to be easy to do is use these assembly lines to automate or just create a whole lot more of the things that utilize scrap metal, because that's what these are making. Which, if you've paid attention here, are metal fasteners, which we've had a huge problem with, and tools, which we have also had a huge problem with. And those also require coal, which, guess what, gets made at this drill right here. So this is, in my opinion, at least the best possible thing we could do with these 2 assembly lines. So I will pre-select the 2 things that need to be made over here, and let that be what it is going to be. This is still waiting for the Masters of Metallurgy, and that is, as far as I can tell, the only thing it needs. And the Masters of Metallurgy is supposed to be made here in the ENS, which is waiting on paper and scrap metal. But paper seems to be perhaps the biggest challenge, and of course we don't have any sawdust, which is making it more difficult for us to make paper. So what we need to do is make more sawdust. I have the advanced sawmill, which apparently I deleted big logs anyway. There's literally no possible way to win. I have this that can make more stuff and create more sawdust. So on it goes. We'll let it just make logs and sawdust and help with all of that fun stuff. I've got these guys right here that are full of materials, but still pumping things out. Well, except this one, because it's full of waste rock. Which I don't understand how that's possible, because the trebuchet is not full of waste rock. So these two beavers should be, keyword being should, coming over here to get waste rock out of the mechanical drills and into the storage. It is prioritized by haulers, and I clearly don't have enough. I will never have enough because it's a never-ending cycle of insanity for those guys. But we're supposed to be making additional bots, except we don't have enough materials because I don't have enough robot parts because I keep building all this other stuff. So, you know how it goes. It's an endless cycle of you don't have anything, so you can't make anything, and you can't make anything because you don't have anything, and you can't make the... Anyway. Biggest issue here is we cannot supply coal and iron ore reliably because we can't get anybody to come get this stuff out of here. But we have haulers here. If we go to here, we have haulers here. We have haulers here. We have haulers here. So that's 40 of those guys, plus all the other buildings that employ haulers. Plus we have this thing that has 9 hauler bots. Still at 98% durability. It's just these guys have a whole lot of stuff to do, and it's going to take them 800 billion years to get anything done because there's not enough of them. Ah, yes. 1 sunflower seed. Thank you so much for prioritizing that job. Wonderful. Anyway, what we can do while we kind of wait for this to, you know, unstick itself is go ahead and do an audit of some of our flag buildings and see what they can be replaced by, or if they even need to exist. Do we scroll all the way down here until I find one of these things? We've got gatherer flags. I have 10 gatherer flags. Got this one over here, which is gathering, so that's fine to have. This one over here is gathering, which is fine to have. Now, the problem is going to come if we have multiple flags in this area that could be replaced by a house. So we'll see if we see these things keep coming back. We have this, which is gathering. That's fine. I got these 2 here, which, honestly, we may or may not want to have a house here. But I do know that we do have those 2 there. This one has a lot of overlap with, I think, another one over here, if I remember correctly. It's just we've done so much different stuff on this whole series, I can't remember everything we've done. That's the second one from over there. Wait, why do I have 4 of these? I don't think I need to have 4 of these over here. That is almost certainly not the ideal scenario. So I'm going to check whatever this last one is. Okay, that's that. That's that. Okay. Yeah, right here with these 4, I don't need to have these 4. I can easily, if I'm going to have 4 beavers doing this, then I might as well put it right here and have it be a harvester's office. Yeah, that's just going to be so much better. Assuming they can actually reach everything, I might have to build some more things. Yeah, let's just do this because it's just gonna be so much better. Yeah, because it can't be flooded, so it does have to be on that tall platform here and here. Don't need to have this here or here. We can get rid of that. They can pick all those pieces up, and then once I remember where the building actually goes, I can build this style of harvester's cottage. If I actually couldn't do anything like that. We can put upgrades on this, but then I have to have some other building next to it, and I don't want to figure out what that is. So, never mind. We're going to put that here. It'll be alright. Just have them come in and put all of this together. That will give us 4 workers, so the same amount of beavers working, but they're going to get bonuses. And this is also housing, which we need additional beavers for anyway. So that's fine. That'll be a big help. So that was worth looking at for the gatherer flags. I don't know why I opened that again. Some of the rest of these, though, probably don't really need to exist. Because this covers, I mean, all of these things here, which I guess is good. It doesn't cover here, because I don't have good enough access down here. So if this actually needs to be in this location, which I don't think it does. Let's see what kind of range we'd get. Okay, so that's why this is here, so we can reach those. I don't need that. I've got... this gatherer flag here is basically only doing... I don't know, like 12, 13 plants, which, hey, I need those, but in the grand scheme of things, this really isn't making that big of a difference. So what I will do is I'm going to get rid of this. Might be unpopular, but I think it's going to be fine. Just kind of pare these things down. So that's gatherer flags. And then we shouldn't have any scavenger flags left. I sure hope not. We've basically scrubbed the entire map full of things. Oh, except down here. So that one's there. That one's here. They're both paused. Technically, there is some scrap metal left, but I couldn't get to it because of how this... Yeah, okay. Well, I'll leave those two there. That should be fine. Tapper's flags. Here, here, and here. Why do we have that if I have a... Okay, that's a harvester's cottage, that's why. Irrigation lodge. I mean, I guess this is fine to have here. There's no other flags except lumberjacks, which I am sure are a right mess. Where? I only have one? Seriously? It's paused. Okay. That's fine. Lumberjack's barn. Here. Okay, well... I guess this was much less of a problem than I originally made it out to be. Neat. Okay, this is done here. That's good. That's what I needed. This one can be unpaused. And then eventually we'll have enough of these metal fasteners to take care of something. That's fine. Once again, this is waiting on master's degree. We're getting there. Very slowly, but we are getting there. This is going to take another couple cycles to dry all this out. So I'm not going to worry about it. We have plenty of nuclear waste. That's good. Well, in the game, at least. And this is making tools, which I only have 2, and I need the scrap metal. So yes, very, very important that we figure out how to get more iron ore. So I don't know. It's like a never-ending supply problem with this. Never-ending supply problem. I guess I can unpause these terrain blocks so we can actually get the dirt out of there, but we have storage they're not using. They can't get all this stuff out of here. Why do I have beavers that are unemployed? That shouldn't be happening. I don't understand how that's possible. Unless those are the ones who are contaminated or whatever. Nah, it's fine. This thing's working, which is good. I guess the reason it wasn't working last episode was because of inconsistent height flow, because I took the dams out here to put in water wheels, which we won't need once we have all of our nuclear power plants operating properly. But we're not there yet. Let's see, do I have any iron ore in here? No, and I already paused most of these so I could get that back. If I pause that one, I can get 16 more, or 14 or whatever, which is going to get me closer. This one has 14 as well. Okay. Well, if I pause all that, they will at least take it and put it in the foundry where it can make more stuff. Eventually. Very slowly. That still only has 10 units of waste rock. There's 20 in there, and there's none in there. Okay, so at least that problem kind of solved itself. Very, very slowly. This coal's got to get removed. I need these guys to move stuff around. There's 20 beavers working here. You're telling me they can't go grab materials? There you go. Good job. Now we're making 100 units of scrap metal. That's what I'm talking about. Get that stuff done. Eventually, it has to go in here, and the paper's slowly catching up. It's just unfortunate we have all this stuff going on at once I can't really do anything about. So, can they reach any of this without it being a huge deal? I don't think it's going to be possible without doing a bunch of detonation. Why did I have dynamite here? I do not remember why I put that in. But I can tell you what we can do. Is I can put this here. And then I can just put in a... Actually, you know what? I only need that one to be removed so I can access here. But I can send a beaver down into the misery bath here. To get some of this scrap metal because you know we need it. And then if they get sick, they can just go on the twirl and hurl. See, everything gets solved eventually. Oh, that can't reach there anyway. So I guess it doesn't matter. So they can just, figure it out. That can get going there. Get down to that same level. And then eventually we'll figure out a way to get down here. I just don't want it to be a hugely complicated mess like I end up making almost everything. What is it that we're waiting on for? Oh, robot parts. That's right. We can't make those yet. This is waiting on metal fasteners. Who would have possibly guessed? Okay. We already used almost all that scrap metal. Iron ore! Yes. Finish making the iron ore so I can grab it and put it in the high temperature foundry, please, and thank you. So many things. That is... Why is the map not moving? There we go. I had my finger on the wrong keys. Oh, it has nothing to do because this isn't finished yet. There we go. Alright, buddy. Get to work. I don't know what this guy's doing just standing right here, but... Gonna get contaminated, but before they finish getting contaminated, they can grab some scrap metal. Yeah, it's already got on well. Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles. I don't really have a great way to get bad water out of here because these other buildings are kind of cumbersome. This one actually doesn't require power, but I don't have a good way to get into it without contaminating a beaver. Well, it's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. Alright, contaminated, yes. But for now, you can be a valuable service to your fellow beaver. And then after that, we'll stick you in a centrifuge until you barf up all the contaminants, and then it's fine. Just like sending kids to a theme park with free cotton candy. Anyway, moving on. It's like every time I finish looking at something, it's nighttime. Are we still waiting on... Okay, but the number is getting bigger, so that's helpful. That's getting bigger, that's getting bigger, that's helpful. This here is making tools. Good. Those are necessary. So that's nice to see. One thing we did not do last episode is we did not put in our second clinic. Which the first one is here. Making surgery kits. It's actually full of surgery kits. So instead, let's make some frost balm. I don't know that I really need to have 2 clinics like this. But someone made a very tempting suggestion, and that was to put the second clinic on top of this one and then give it access via a bridge, which I think is fun. So put a 3x into here. And then this one can be set to make antibiotics or something. But I have the nursing license, I have the glassware, I have all this other stuff ready to go. So we might as well do it. I know it takes tools, which... Big, huge problem. Actually, I think their suggestion was to give access via the Architect's Lodge, but that doesn't line up height-wise. Although if I would have turned this 90 degrees, maybe I could have put stairs on top of it, because this will come through... I don't know. You can go up the top, you can go up the middle, because there is that balcony there, but I think this is also hilarious, so we'll just go with that. Okay, 16 is fine. We already know why that one doesn't have anything. 146. We do have sawdust, which is good. Yep, waiting once again on more scrap metal. But it is making tools. And it looks like... Why is this not going? It has all the materials it needs. Ah, no, it needs 100 iron ore, not 100 coal. I keep looking at this wrong. 3 more. 3 more, come on. I know you have it. I know you have it somewhere. Okay, we'll get... Alright, there you go. Just get that... Get those last little bits in there. Come on. There you go. And then it stops at 5% because it's the end of the day and they want to go home. Well, it's fine. How are we doing over here? They built this? Yes. Alright, so that's the same number of jobs, but it should be much more efficient. I remember this gives a 25% boost to speed, 50% to movement, and 50% to carrying capacity. So, nice things to improve. Let's see. I know to do some of the stuff, specifically for possessions. We don't have any beavers with any possessions anymore. They all died, the ones that had those. So we need to make wooden toys, which again is an assembly line thing. The shell necklace requires that we do some trading. And I don't remember which one it is. One of these, I may not have it built, but one of these will give shells. I think it's the, I'm not even going to attempt to remember. Island beavers? Maybe? Come on, island beavers. There, yeah, there we go. I haven't unlocked it yet. You send them beer, they send you shells. And what they do with the seashells is they take them and they combine them with quartz, and they make shell necklaces, which is a possession that, once again, a beaver keeps for its entire life, and then when it dies, it goes away. Because apparently nobody hands anything down to their children anymore. But that will take a little bit of time to get into. The other possessions, of course, are comic books, which we can actually make, except we don't have a lot of paper. So it's probably time to look into some of these underground factory operating team bits and change those over. I got 23 drill bits. Let's make paper. Let's make paper. So I don't have to have sawdust to make paper with this. I just put regular logs in there. And this can probably make paper pretty fast. We'll just leave that alone there. Artist Lodge doesn't need to duplicate blueprints, so why don't we just set this to comic books? Which, of course, consumes paper. But if we're making a lot of paper over here, then that makes it a whole lot easier. We just have to have all the stuff supplied, so these beavers better get busy. And as soon as we get 50 water, it looks like we should be okay. I may have storage for everything over here. It's just a matter of the beavers being able to actually do it. Yeah, 146 paper, 130 scrap metal. If we can just get this permanently unjammed, then I think we're going to be okay. We just kind of have to monitor the situation here. So 6 hours. This is essentially assuming it never stops. You get 10 iron per hour. And this will consume, in theory, 20 iron per hour. So one of these mechanical drills for iron ore is not going to be sufficient for this. I thought that was going to be fine. I guess not. Let's check and see what else is using iron. It shouldn't be anything else using iron ore, but who knows at this point. Okay, I've got the primitive smelter that is currently making... Shouldn't be even operating at all. Okay, let's just pause that, because I know we don't need to be worrying about that. Okay, that solves that problem. That's fine. Let's check in on our weird... Where is this? Clinic nonsense. Ah, they haven't finished it yet. I can't make frost bomb because we don't have ice blocks. Don't have ice blocks because we don't have ice blocks. So that's not really a it's not really a revelation there, is it? Okay, that's non-zero number of tools is desirable. Still waiting on more stuff, but we're getting some stuff out of here. How in the heck did I do this to myself? I guess that was just perspective playing a trick on me here. Well, no matter. I'll just put a platform in and then they can harvest this one too. I guess, I mean, I don't really have a ton of extra beavers. And by a ton, I mean in reference to my actual vacancy number, which isn't 41, because some of those are buildings that don't require workers. I can put one more of these scrap flags in, so we can try to get that a little bit quicker. Start clearing out the rest of this. Are we making paper yet? Probably not. So what are we waiting on? Still water. Well, we have it right outside. I wish these guys would just go get it. Methane's looking good. We've got hydrogen. I don't have another tank storage yet. Full of nuclear waste. I probably should have a larger storage for nuclear waste. Especially given how these are going to chew through that. One of those every 10 hours. I guess it's probably okay. And how am I even going to get these guys in here? I didn't even put an access in because I didn't think they were going to be able to get in here that quick. So they're going to need to... This can't even do anything with this anyway. Get this out of here. I don't really know, because this is terrible over here. Well, this is going to evaporate eventually anyway, but it's, like I said, it's going to take some time. If I just put in a staircase, let's make it nice and easy. Put a spiral here, flip that thing. Then I can just connect this if I do another spiral. Remember, the ladders take metal blocks, which I'm trying to save for other stuff. So that can go there. That'll connect fine. This is our storage for nuclear waste, so that's going to be A-okay. And I assume I'm going to have to just do some other kind of nonsense with this. Well, it's fine. We're making paper yet? Still no, because... There we go. There we go. They just need the water. Everything else is looking fine. Yeah, so we made 70 sheets of paper, and I bet those just immediately went in here. 174. They all did not go in there. Where are they going? I know we have everything else consuming paper. I'm trying to make comic books, and I know they have to make library books, which, guess what? Also consumes paper. Great sound. We're up to 127, though, so that's working. And this needs only 5 more metal fasteners. That's good news, because then this can make the metal fasteners that it needs. Love it when that happens. Once again, waiting on masters in metallurgy. I don't think there's anything else hidden that I could do. I know I could put an abyss right here. You know what? We're about to have that stuff anyway. I'll put this in, because what I can do is I can build big old storage. Yes, that is a scientific name. Where is deep crate storage, deep pile storage? The deep crate storage will store 1 million items. The deep pile storage will store 500,000. I bet you can't guess what I'm going to put in the deep pile storage now, can you? If you guessed dirt, you're correct. If you guessed waste rock, you're also correct. If you guessed coal and iron, you're also correct. We can just build a bunch of these things. And then that'll be much more space efficient and easier to get everything taken care of. So, it will, of course, just take time. You know how it goes. Yep. Just have to wait. But soon, everything will be just fine. Still using scrap metal. Got my 3 contaminated beavers, is what it is. That's actually gone, which is a... Ooh, you know what? You know what I can do here? Is soon, TM, I can just do this. And not have to get my beavers down in the nasty water. Because that will evaporate, I don't know, maybe within the next half a cycle or so, and then that's on level for this. This one, of course, is a little bit lower, but this right here is 105 scrap metal that's very easily accessible. They have not built this yet because there's no reason to. That's fine. I do still want to fill these with water at some point, but we have bigger fish to fry. This is using giant logs, which we do need to have. We do need to get these cut down so they can get replanted. I'm going to change this to giant half log recipe because, well, we need to be able to make giant half logs, so I can make another one of these things. But I need 16 of those, so it's probably going to be a little bit of time before that's able to be finished. Oh, come on. One more metal fastener. Also, there's a bad tide coming, so we should be knowledgeable of that. I don't have any more sources over here, so that shouldn't be an issue. These won't do anything anymore because they've been plugged up. This one's already doing bad water. That's fine. Then these are already good to go, but every time I reload the game, I get less and less confident that these are going to still be set correctly. That is set correctly. This is also set correctly, but I'm going to give it a little bit of a head start. What did we decide? It was 1.7-ish. Well, it's fine. We already have tons of water coming through here. Not that it really matters. I should just stop worrying about it. Oh, you know what? It's another thing somebody left a comment. Once these are operating and generating power, we don't need to worry about the water wheels at all anymore. And we can get rid of those, which will end up increasing our frame rate probably pretty substantially. I know. I'm already getting like 90 FPS, and this is only a 60 FPS video for you. The game, for me, can display up to 165 hertz. But you know how it goes. If we don't have to have the wheels, then I can finally do this bad water diversion up here. Which we've already cut down on most of the stuff that would be in the way of that. And I think, well, if I wanted to do it the right way, I'd do it over here because I don't have any buildings or anything else I really need to save. Yeah, that should be fine. Good, this is finished. You'll never guess what it needs. That's right, scrap metal. We're just waiting on iron ore. Which now it is so full of dirt it cannot make any more iron ore. Eventually that problem will be solved. You know how it goes. But we have to wait for sequoias to grow, and this is the last big one we can cut down. And I can turn these into giant half logs. I have 10 capacity. How many more do I need? Okay, I need another 15. That's fine. We're getting there, folks. Slow and steady wins the race. So on and so forth. It is very nice not having these be contaminated. Which, if this is never going to be a problem again, means I can actually remove all of these levees. And get those materials back. Which, it might not seem like a really great way to use my time or labor, but there's a significant amount of pine resin and logs involved that can be harvested. And then I can increase my pumpkin capacity over here. And depending on how I want to do this, because I don't really need to have this many more lotuses over here. Depending on how I want to do all this stuff, I could very easily have a lot of great space for other things here. Getting closer and closer and closer to be able to just get this without any pain and suffering involved. You already know how this whole poison business works here. It's fine. I guess these beavers are going to continue putting their sludge in here. That's the way it goes. 5 more metal blocks, and then the half logs. And then, of course, metal fasteners. Who'da thunk it? Yep, still waiting on scrap metal. But we have all of our paper, and now this is only waiting on scrap metal. How much paper do I have? I have no extra paper. Okay, well, it's elsewhere. Are we making enough comic books over here? Not really, because I don't have enough paper. How many beavers have comic books? 7! Fantastic. Great work. 7 whole beavers! And, oh, I need to do the stuff for the role-playing game things. Why don't I have any exercise plazas? That's a very good question, because I've got space for it now. 300 science. Why does it consume 1 log per hour? What are they doing with logs for exercise? Well, for the time being... see, science is just... Is it worth doing the exercise plaza, or is it worth building this? Oh, okay. I don't have any gold. Well, I don't have enough gold, at least. take the same supplies, really? Okay. And the eternal problem with Waterbeavers is how do you even bother doing decorations? Because everything's everywhere. You can't really funnel them through specific spots. Did I even have a public fountain anymore, or did I get rid of that? I don't remember. So, come over here. I do not see a public fountain. Although I unlocked it, I guess I just never built it? I thought for sure I did. No, it takes scrap metal. Of course it does. Why is this... Why is this like this? I could easily put something slightly more useful up here. I just reorganize this a tiny bit. Now my public fountain, I don't remember, I don't have my overhangs here. I could... Because I know this is a space theoretically some beavers are going through. If I did one of those numbers, put a public fountain here, that's going to get basically every beaver that walks through this mess. Going to be in range of that. What other well-being things are going to be good for that? See, I don't know. Forest reviewing spots, farm upgrade. I already put Peacock out. And statues. This also wouldn't be a bad thing to put here. It's only 200 science. And I got the big logs here, so why not? Upside down statue and then alright, pregnant statue too, because apparently that's a thing. That's gonna reach all these beavers walking through here. Although there's not that many going this way. There are a lot going through here. So I guess that's alright. Little well-being hub right here. As weird as that might be. Did they finish putting this in? No, they did not. How are we looking on... Okay, exactly what I thought. How are we looking here? Still waiting on iron ore. I really need to find somewhere to put another one of these. What are these even doing? Making coal, which probably is not the thing we should be focusing on. Let's change this to iron ore. That might help just a tiny bit. How are we looking here? 217. Yep, we just need more scrap metal. And that's already full. We knew that was a thing. This is just about low enough to harvest here. And then at that point, there's only one full block of height remaining. And I guess I could, if I really wanted to, I could put in a couple of bad water bucketing posts. I don't know that it would really do that much good speed-wise, but we're not full on bad water, so I guess that's fine. It'll help get this emptied out just a tiny bit quicker. This mess down here is going to take like another, I don't know, 4 episodes worth of time. Okay, yeah, that's still flooded, but it won't be for long. It's so nice not seeing the poison garbage here. So better question now is what kind of extra range am I going to get if and when I get rid of this here, now that it's not a big issue anymore. Take those out for sure. Take those out because this is already blasted. I probably don't need to have this blasted anymore for... Oh, they can't even reach over here. Okay, yeah, let's get all of these pieces back of dynamite. Because what we can do is, depending on how we want to do this, we could just block this off and then get this space back for other purposes. B for boom. There, there, and there. Now I can check and see. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get some extra space for pumpkins here. Although, the way these are planted are not going to be great. Well, that's nice to have there. This will be for pumpkin planting. That's fine there. That's fine there. There, there, and there. So I've got 7 extra pumpkins. 8 extra pumpkins. That's about all I can get right now. Except for this part where I can have here and here. I think they can reach that. Yeah, okay. That's what... Okay, I need to stop saying that's what I'm talking about. But that is, in fact, what I'm talking about. Wait a second. That wasn't connected there. Okay. Now we can bucket some bad water at the bad water bucketing post. Do I dare check? Oh, we have all of our half logs. I guess I need to not do that. I was told I need to pause this building so they can get all the giant logs out, which I guess they didn't have anyway. You know what? I'm just going to leave this paused. I don't think there's any reason to have that operating right now, because we have a couple hundred logs that seem to be fine. Push some beavers into other jobs anyway. Got still 42 vacancies, but 34 incapacitated beavers. Speaking of incapacitated beavers, how are we looking over here in injury land? Surgery kits still have 96. Can't make frost bomb because they don't have ice blocks, and this one was set to make antibiotics, but they can't build it till they have metal fasteners. So let's change that to antibiotics and change this one to frost bomb. They should be able to make antibiotics, one would think. So ice needs to be able to be produced, and that requires... Wait, I have all this stuff. So is it just the alchemist not being able to make any ice because I don't have it set to... Okay, yeah. So I got 2 of these set to make treated planks, which I currently have completely full storage for. So this one, is that going to be close to anything making endothermic essence? I don't know. Oh, they're right next to each other. Okay. So who's making endothermic essence? Let's find out. This distillery, which is all the way over here. Okay. Well, do I have a storage for that anywhere? I know I'm going to have to. I don't see any storage for endothermic essence anywhere. Well, then I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? I'm just going to have this set to make ice blocks, and they can just go and pick it up from somewhere else. We'll get there. How are we looking here? 2:38. Remember, it's 8 days, 8 hours once this starts. Then, okay, these are, okay, they got 8 days. They're fine. How's that? Ah, yes, metal fasteners. Who would have guessed? That's fine, except metal fasteners. This one can't make metal fasteners because... I'll give you a hint. Scrap metal. And once again, we are waiting on iron ore. Probably because of the dirt, even though I have tons of storage for dirt. At least this is making, it's making iron. 3 hours for 5 if I give them the rest of the beavers. Suddenly it's an hour and a half for 5. That's a whole lot better. Why do I have unemployed beavers? Is that just one of the weird things about this other district? Oh. Well. That is an interesting problem that I absolutely should have anticipated. Okay, so this having 5 hauler beavers probably does not need to be a thing. It's also not holding any water back. I think I just built this for some reason. Anyway, if I pause that, now I've got 15 unemployed beavers, and I've got 7 homeless beavers. Well, guess what? The district in the corn is overpopulated. Let's fix that. Let's go down to 50. I check this again. I know I could have just easily done this the other way around. Why do I still... What is this? Oh, I have a kid. No, 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 no. No, no beaver babies. No, no, no. Get that out of there. The regular beaverberg... Oh, I don't have the minimum set for the contaminated beavers. I don't think they're ever going to get... whatever. But I'm going to just force them to export the children to the main district like they should have been. They shouldn't be able to make any more now. Somehow, because... Why is there still a free bed? Okay. I'll give you one more adult beaver. One more adult beaver to fill all the beds. Then I probably have to set the minimum, but why? Okay, I need to stop clicking on all this. There's no empty jobs, but there's 11 unemployed beavers. This is why I hate districts. What am I supposed to do with this? If I, See, if I export any more beavers, they're just going to keep making new ones. And I don't want that. Because I know they're in here. They're in here. The fermentation house is also housing beavers. Everything here is a house. We have the regular lodge. We have the pass-through lodge that keeps everything from getting flooded, which is fine. Yeah, there's not really much else I can do. Not much else I can do, so I guess we just permanently have 11 unemployed beavers because I can't manage anything. What am I... Because, like, I guess if I got rid of both of these lodges here, that would take 6 beds away, but I have to replace something because these are dams. An unenviable task. I'll tell you what, I don't need to have a forester active. I can pause that. I don't necessarily need to get rid of it, but I don't need to have it active. Nobody's living in the firefly grooming station, thank God. I guess I can just lower this down to 45 beavers. Get these kids out of here. And yet somehow I have 3 extra beds. What can I even pause? What can I even pause? They're just going to keep making babies. Stop it. Don't do that. You don't need to. It's unnecessary. Got that district crossing there, and I've got a couple over here. Oh, they don't live there anyway. Working. Should I have more of these working the district crossing so I'm not wasting them at least? I mean, I guess that's probably the only other thing I could really do. This is the main district, right? Oh god, it's a nightmare trying to juggle all this. Well, anyway, it is no longer a bad tide, which means I can set this back to open. Nice and clean. Same deal here, except this gets closed and not opened. And then this gets opened. And then I think we're good. Do I dare check this? 251. What's happening here? Oh, we're actually making scrap metal. Very good. Because now this is empty enough to get more dirt out of it. Alright, good. And this is waiting on metal fasteners. Yay! Which is waiting on scrap metal. I think if I do that anymore in this episode, people are going to show up at my house with pitchforks, so maybe let's not do that. I need this to be finished. I need the incredibly compact library set to be finished. Why do I only have 54 library books now? Oh, I made one! I made one! Okay. Mushroom juice time. Alright, that means I don't have to have this making library books anymore. We can just make science. Hooray! Now I just have a lot of extra library books. Alright. So, new plan is I need to build another ENS. And I should have the materials to do it. Unless I used my... I did. Okay, I need to make more laboratory glassware. Where am I going to put this? I don't know. I don't know. I got space over here, technically. See, I don't need to have this. I don't need to have this. And the ENS thing covers the entire screen. I would just need to reroute my power here. And then I think... Yeah, I'm just gonna get these trees out of here. And then what I can do is I can just blast... Wait a second. Uh-oh. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. There's a reason why I did not do that. Now I did it. Okay. Well... Good news is I can just immediately fix that problem by extreme prioritizing a levy. But the bad news is I'm dumb. So, get to work, boys and girls. Let's go. Let's go. You're gonna kill my pumpkins. Why can't I click on my pumpkins? Dies in 1 day. Who could have first... Wait a minute. Is water draining through the hole here? How... No, there's no way. There's no way it's draining through the hole there. Okay. All right. This is weird. This is weird. This is really weird. Wait a second. No, why is all that water gone from there? What's happening here? What happened? Hold on. Because the water for this area comes through here, right? Why is it not coming through here anymore? It's all open, right? So, okay, well. Now I truly have no idea what's going on. Like, why is this not coming through here? Like, I know this has to reach over this. Is it not able to generate enough pressure on this side to force stuff back through? Because that's a problem. But this shouldn't have had anything to do with that. Come on, somebody just come finish this. Okay, so now that's blocked off again. I don't think there's anything else that can go wrong with this. Wait, I don't even need to have this primitive dam here because this just stays the same depth anyway. Because this is... Yeah, I don't need this at all because we're not pumping. All right. No, now it just solved itself. All right, you know what? I'm gonna stop attempting to understand how this works and just move on. Blast away. Gonna get rid of this, and then I think I can put the other ENS right here. This is 6x6. Is the ENS 7x7? It is. Okay. Well, that is easy enough to just move one block over with this mess. I think it should be fine. They can come in and do this. Won't be that hard. They can't reach it. Oh, that's right. I don't need to have this here. I also don't need to have these wheels here. That's never going to be a thing again. So that can go, that can go, that can go, that can go, that can go. This is just connecting here to here. And it has to go around the ENS if this is in fact where this is going to go. This is now in that other district, which I probably don't actually want. This is connected to this district, so what am I doing? Honestly. I do not know. Yeah, I need this to go... I need this to go somewhere else. I do not need this to go right here. That was just my immediate thought that would make the most sense. Okay, and if I want to have something here, I'm going to have space around this. And I have no clue what's happening, man. I do not know. But I have to have power go through here to connect all this. How far does this go? Oh, it only goes to here. Alright, well, this is the district crossing that gives these guys access to water. I could move this here. And that does kimchi, huh? Ugh, there's nowhere to put anything on this map. I'm trying to think what would be the best way to do this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I... Oh, I know what I can do. Be kind of stupid, but... I could take... I could still do exactly what I was going to be doing, but I could make a hole here, make an entranceway. Yeah, this is probably going to be the... Again, still kind of stupid, but the easiest way to handle this. Just have it go up over the entrance hole. And then still around here. Still around there. Still through here. And then here, go and meet up with this. Okay. We'll go with that. Is this making that thing yet? It is. 2% through 8 days, 8 hours. And now I have 62 vacancies. Because I have 18 contaminated beavers. I wonder how that happened. Definitely has nothing to do with this. Not even in the slightest. Okay. At least we have this thing. If it ever gets to the correct depth, that would be great. You know what's really funny, honestly, is all the effort going to putting in this terrain here is going to be immediately outmoded as soon as these come online. What's the Jeremy Clarkson line from Top Gear? Sometimes the something my own genius astounds even me. Massive sarcasm, if you were not aware. Let's get that in here. And this is the other district. I do not want to connect to that district. I want to connect to this district. So I'm going to leave space for various things here. And then, this isn't even connected to here, but you know what is? It's right here. So all I've got to do for that, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. All I got to do is just come down. That's not the R key. There we go. Staircase. And then I have a very circuitous, kind of stupid way to access where this ENS is going to go. They can finally take this pine tree out, and then I can place the thing in here once this is all built. Oh, what fun. I have 41 children. Now, how do I have 41 children? This is still a baby factory. Oh, come on, man. I don't know how to stop this. I really don't, because I have to have the balloon trader pads. That's kind of extremely important. I have to have these here to make the things to trade. I don't have any other buildings I can really pause. Okay, is there anything else in here that I don't need? I guess the fermentation house for the kimchi. It might have to go. This isn't a dam, actually, so I can just pause this. That might... There we go. I got one homeless beaver. That should, in theory, prevent any more babies from being born once these all become adults, assuming that happens at the right... I don't know, man. Once again, I hate districts with every fiber of my being, but they are a necessary evil in this game. Okay, halfway to the metal fasteners. That's good. Obviously, this is still missing that. What about this? Oh! They're both going. Okay. Well, good. Still don't have enough stuff because, obviously, but it is what it is. We're making progress. Slowly and painfully. But we are making progress. Too far from a district. How is... Oh, because this is in the way. Duh. Alright, once this is all finished, this is a bypass that they're currently working on, I should be able to just kick this over. Let's get that popped in the corner there. I've already disconnected this, so it doesn't matter. Then that can go there. That corner piece is already done. These three just need to go in place. And then I can pop my ENS, and as soon as this blasted pine tree is out of here, let's make that a priority, shall we? Somebody come and get this thing out of here, and then we can move on. Oh, we're already over an hour. Uh-oh. Time to move on. But I can't without having this at least started. Alright, get those pieces out of here. Two more there. Get this enormous splash screen out of the way. And there you go. Second ENS. Which I have to turn this back on. I'm going to start making, I think, was it processors? No, it was parts, what do you call it? Robot parts. But I do need processors so I can make more bots. And this currently is making the Masters of Metallurgy, and it's still collecting materials for the next one, even though I can't turn that off. I suppose I need to make a couple of glorious storages here. One for processors. I'll make one for Clockwork robotic controllers. Get that connected there. Of course, the recipe for this stuff is going to have to be Well, these things do exist closer to the other ENS, so I guess it's probably not that big of a deal. I don't need to make another thing there. If I'm going to be making science with this, then I probably will need storage for all those different food types, but that sounds like a problem to solve next episode. Oh, good. The beavers from the other district are building this. Oh, the 200 metal fasteners is going to take a billion years. These are just planks in the ground. Don't have storage for those. How close are we? Okay, half a block? Okay, half a block height until this nuclear reactor turns on. That's good. Still harvesting bad water. I have 23 contaminated adults. That is probably why, or a lot of the reason why this is a problem. I think it's the bad water bucketing post doing most of that, because there should be no other possibility except for, you know, sending the one beaver down here to get this scrap metal out of the way. That's the way it goes, I suppose. Maybe I should stop gathering this scrap metal. I don't know. We kind of need it. I think the bigger problem is this is kind of inconsistent. So if I have 23 contaminated beavers, should they not all be making the... Oh, there it goes. It's not working. Okay. I guess I just need to look for really slow-moving, miserable, sickly beavers on my path system. We have the statues, though. And the well-being has increased a total of, what, 2 points? 2 or 3? And we still only have 34 beavers with comic books. Man, what a huge waste of time. But it needs to get done. And there's not that many of them, again. Water beavers is an absolute impossibility to get well-being points if you have to do this, but it is what it is. How close are we to this? I need it in this episode. 38%. This, of course, is waiting on... Oh, that's right. Laboratory glassware. I need to make one of those. Who can make laboratory glassware? I pick you. I just can't remember. Or I can't remember. You know, I also can't do that. I can't forget that I've got this set to make glassware, or else it's just going to keep making them, and I'm not going to need that many until I go to make... The nuclear reactor needs 20 of those? Yes. Okay, well, do I have storage for... I do. Okay, so it'll make... Yeah, that's fine. We'll just leave it alone. Alright, we've got to end this episode. We absolutely have to end this episode, or it's going to be a billion hours long, and I don't have that kind of time. So, I appreciate you guys watching this series, giving helpful advice. I guess we are closer to the end than I thought, but I do still want to try and get as much well-being as I can. Once we are able to actually produce hauler bots, that should help a whole lot. Just kind of get bogged down with stuff. But, as always, want to thank the Beard Boosters subsidizing the channel, making it possible to avoid sponsorships and algorithm chasing and all that other stuff. Just having fun playing the games, seeing what happens, and going from there. So whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we will see you back again soon for more beavers. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.